welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Friday. We've created another 3-day weekend of sorts for ourselves this week, so I'm gonna take it as an opportunity to squeeze in some extra reading. During the last reading vlog, I was finishing up Funny Story by Emily Henry, and I did finish it yesterday. I have to say, it is almost a 5-star read for me. I think I ended up giving it a 4.75 on Storygraph. I loved the complexity of the characters. I loved the dynamic between the male and female main character. I love the way that Emily Henry handled the third act conflict. I won't call it a third act breakup. I feel like that doesn't accurately capture everything that happened in the last 15% of the book, but I thought it was really well done, and that's coming from a person who typically hates a third act breakup. The only time I've ever really appreciated and seen the value in a third act breakup is usually in Abby Jimenez books, truthfully. The reason this ended up not being a perfect 5-star read for me is twofold. One, I try to save 5-star reads for books that really make me feel seen as a person, change my perspective on life and literature, or feel like they go on what I call my book Mount Rushmore. It's like the internal shrine that I build to books. I liked Funny Story a lot, but I'm not sure I'm gonna build a shrine, a metaphorical shrine for it. The other thing that made it lose 0.25 for me is that I don't love when an author uses a character's internal monologue to spell out for me exactly where they are in their character development. When we have these key points of conflict where the main character is either gonna be really introspective about something that's been bothering her for a while, or she's about to directly confront someone about something that she did or they did, we have a lot of text about the process. And I would rather just see the action and make that determination and come to that conclusion myself rather than having it be spoon-fed to me. I know that there has to be some degree of explanation in the narrative. I just prefer when it's just a sentence here or there rather than an entire paragraph of lead up for the dialogue that actually illustrates it. Overall though, I'm really glad I read it, and now I am way more excited for Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life because now I've had 2 texts that I really liked, one that I was super lukewarm about. So Great Big Beautiful Life is gonna be another really good data point. When we last left off as well, I was also finishing The Reality of It All by Alison Spica. I gave that one 4 stars. It was a delightful, light, funny rom-com. It tied up everything in such a nice bow at the end, and it really was just the perfect light read after I've been on such a heavy fantasy kick. Alison Spica is an indie author. Her work is available on Kindle Unlimited, so if you are going to use Amazon for anything, I recommend you consider using it to support indie authors' work. Now on my Kindle, I'm reading The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. It's the 2nd installment in the Molly the Maid series. I took it out through Libby, and I'm really excited to get back into this world because I love Molly the Maid. As far as audiobooks go, I think I'm going to start The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. In 2025 thus far, I've done some fantasy, I've done some rom-com, and so now I think I'm ready to dive back into the mystery thriller genre. I have the rest of the afternoon to myself. I'm probably gonna clean up a little bit around the apartment, listen to The Paris Apartment, read a little bit in The Mystery Guest, and then I have book club tonight. The Wedding People by Alison Espach is our book club pick for January. It was actually my suggestion because I read it in November and I loved it. Life hack, if you're part of multiple book clubs, if you read a really good book that you think is a good book club book, pitch it to every book club. What ended up happening is in January, 2 of my 3 book clubs are reading The Wedding People, and I'm good to go already because I read it way back when. Saturday now. Didn't film more yesterday, but I'll catch you up. Had a good discussion about The Wedding People with book club last night, and then I came home after that, ordered myself some dinner, and just kind of sat on the couch doom scrolling. That was not so helpful for my mental health. I fell asleep watching Grey's Anatomy, which also was a poor choice for my mental health. So I woke up this morning determined to be better. I started reading a little bit more in The Mystery Guest, maybe 15% of the way through now. Decided after that to run some errands. I had to return some library books. I had to stop at the bank. I'll show you what I got. The Invisibility Cloak. Decided to check out Wild Love by Elsie Silver, see what all the hubbub is about. The Kiss Quotient, I think this is gonna be the first one that I start when I'm done with my current read. How to End a Love Story, and Shadow and Bone. I was actually really excited because they had the entire trilogy. The other day when I went to the used bookshop, they actually had book 2 and 3 in the series, but not book 1, so I decided I wasn't gonna pick it up. So I was very excited to find book 1 on the library shelves today. I also really needed a planner, so I got myself this beautiful one so that I can get my life together. Got a notebook just for jotting down ideas and things. This guy, it's just lined. I was kind of hoping to find like a dot grid notebook that I liked, but the only ones that they had that I liked, the pages were colored, so they had like pink, green, and purple, and I just wanted white. Got pens also to go with my planner and my notebook. On my way home, I also stopped at the bakery and got myself a lavender loaf. I think between all of these library books, the books that I'm reading, my new books to write in, and my new pens to write with, I've got a lovely lavender loaf to snack on. I'm gonna make a coffee and just have myself a chill, happy afternoon. Sunday, or whatever day you're watching this on. It's about 11 a.m. now. I've taken care of most of my outside errands for the day, which really was just going to the grocery store. I thought I would give a very brief reading update before I sit down to finish The Mystery Guest. I didn't get through as much of this or of The Paris Apartment as I hoped to yesterday, and I think the reason is because I've made the same mistake 2 weeks in a row now. Typically, what helps me get through books really quickly is two things: different formats, different genres. I've been good about the different formats. I've got my Kindle, I've got my audio, sometimes I have a physical going as well, but right now that hasn't been the case. The problem is both this week and last week I've been doing the same genre across the different formats. So last weekend it was 2 romances. Now this week I'm doing 2 like mystery thriller type of books. It's like trying to binge watch both House and Grey's Anatomy at the same time. I noticed that last week and I told myself I wouldn't do it again, but I guess I was just craving a thriller so badly that when I finished both the audiobook and the Kindle book, I was like, okay, time to start a thriller. So I will continue to ride this out. I am 40% of the way through The Mystery Guest. My Kindle is saying I have about 2 hours left in it. So my goal is to finish it before the Eagles game today, which is at 3. So very doable. So far, I am liking The Mystery Guest. It's like a light kind of mystery story. I wouldn't quite put it in the category of cozy mystery, but because I really like Molly the Maid and Nita Prose so much, I think that the way that I feel when I read this story is the way that other people feel when they read a cozy mystery. I feel cozy, but I wouldn't necessarily put it in that genre. It's not blowing my socks off, but it's entertaining. We're jumping back and forth in time a little bit, and I find myself more interested in what's going on in the past than what's going on in the present. Obviously, they're related, so hopefully at some point the interests will merge, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. I really can't comment too much on The Paris Apartment. I'm probably only like 3% of the way through, so we're still kind of building the story a little bit. Hopefully I'll finish that by Wednesday between all of my commuting to and from work this week. I'm going to finish The Mystery Guest now and give you guys an update on how I like it. Several hours later, and this has been a very eventful Sunday. I finished my book, I made Thai red curry soup, I did a ton of laundry and put it away, and the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Last things on my agenda for the evening are to just clean up the kitchen, see who wins this Bills versus Chiefs game, and get my butt into bed. Review of The Mystery Guest. Solid 3 out of 5. I love Molly the Maid. I love the way this little light, fun mystery makes me feel. Like I was explaining earlier, to me it feels like a cozy mystery, but I'm not sure it really falls into that genre proper. But I liked it. It was a super entertaining read. You do not need to rush to your local bookstore to pick it up, but Requested at the Library. It's a good, fun, entertaining read. I'll be definitely picking up the third installment in this series when it comes out. I think that the main character Molly is going to go through a major shift in her life and career, so I'm excited to see how that plays out for her. I am a little torn on what I want to read next. Here's what I'm thinking. I could go the fantasy route. I could either read the second book in the Crowns of Neaxia series, or I could really triple down on things and start Priori of the Orange Tree. It's like a 1,000 page book, but I've been renewing it in Libby, and I think maybe I should just dive in. Maybe I shouldn't do that because I do plan on starting Onyx Storm via audio this week. So I'm gonna clean up the kitchen, sit down on the couch, and just kind of see what me and my Kindle decide on together. Forget everything I just said about me and my Kindle deciding what's gonna happen next. I decided I'm gonna start Elsie Silver's Wild Love. If I read a romance, that's gonna be quite different than my current audiobook and my next audiobook and whatever I'm gonna read next on my Kindle. So I won't fall into the double genre trap. We'll see how far I get. I'm probably not gonna read that much. I don't know that I can stay up and watch the entirety of this game, but I do kind of wanna know who's going to the Super Bowl against the Eagles. So we shall see. I'm gonna sit on the couch and read this for a little bit.